what more should we be doing right now to protect our cyber forces? And this question actually came from the audience. Should the US use the threat of conventional forces to deter bad actors in cyberspace?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's super interesting and super complicated about cyber warfare is we just don't yet have an established doctrine of how to deter and how to respond when there are cyber attacks. So, of course, if we were being threatened or if we were attacked by the Soviet Union with conventional weapons, there's just legions of people trained in response options. How do we respond if they shot, tactical nukes at us? An enshrined amount of doctrine there, but it all kind of withers away when you turn to some of these new tools, particularly cyber. And I always tell people, let's say there was a cyber attack in the middle of Michigan in winter, and it shut down our electrical grid, and 25 elderly people froze to death in their homes. What is our appropriate proportional response? Do we attack only through cyber tools? Do we do it in a more conventional way? We don't go around killing civilians intentionally. So how do we respond to something like that? With cyber threats, it tends to be the average citizen that's on the front lines, not the soldier in the tank, not, the fixed wing aircraft. So I think it's really still thrown us for a loop on how to respond. And the American public has gotten absolutely awakened to this threat in the past year from the Colonial Pipeline. They're hitting our meat processing plants. So I think that part of it is, frankly, establishing deterrence. One is making sure that we have an offensive capability that we don't want to talk about here, but needs to be effective and usable. But the other part of deterrence is, defense back here. If our companies, which are on the front lines, make it super easy for groups in China or in Russia to attack and manipulate them, it becomes an appetizing target. If they had done everything at Colonial that they could have done to protect themselves, well, we wouldn't have had this very public demonstration that a group, even just looking for money, could disrupt and create gas lines on the East Coast. That now encourages bad actors to do that again. So you really need to establish deterrence, not just with offensive capability, but by really cleaning up our security back here at home. And we need to help, the government needs to help companies and help local governments do that, since they don't have resident expertise all the time. So it's a brave new world, and that's why we need all these young people that Will was talking about to come into government and help us think through new doctrine.